Hi and welcome. Today we are meeting with the Danish company Freetrailer that's on its way to Aktietorget. Allan, Sønderskov, Darré, welcome.
Thank you.
How do you make money off free trailers?
Well, maybe I should tell a little bit about the concept. I mean, the name Freetrailer is due to that you can actually pick up a trailer if you go to one of our partners. You can have it for free from the day you pick it up until the next day. But if you want to be sure that the trailer is there when you need it, you can do a reservation from home. And in that case, you pay a booking fee. And then we also recommend a lot of our users to basically buy an insurance to be sure they're fully covered if something happened with the trailer. And that income is solely our income, so that's how we make money.
And you also make money from your partners, I understand.
Yes, of course. We sell the service to our partners. We basically supply some trailers, IT system, call center, maintenance, insurance, road tax. Everything is fully covered in the package we deliver.
So how much comes from partners and how much comes from the final customer?
The split is around 32 to 68%. 32 to the partners, 68 for the users.
Yeah. You don't make very much money off each rental. Are you looking to improve volumes or income per rental? Or
well, you might say that how we make money is it's a small payments, but a lot of them. So the way we can adjust that is by adding more trailers to the market, or take our new technology, which is a 100% self-service solution, and implement that, and that will actually change the use of the trailers.
Mm.
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to look in the future? Are the sources of income going to be the same, or are they going to change?
I mean, of course, we are always looking into other kind of sources how we make more money. Right now, we have actually asked our users what kind of services do they need. So it could easily be home transportation. We take the trailer and deliver it there, or they pick it up and we pick up the trailer from where they live and drive it back. Just to give a few examples.
Yeah.
Or it could also be like we integrate our service. So when you buy something online, everything is packed in the trailer and you basically pick it up. All that kind of services we're looking into.
Yeah. You're taking in fresh money from the stock market now. 14 million Danish kroner, about 20 million Swedish.
Yeah.
What do you intend to do with the money?
Well, right now our home market is in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. But we are almost every Dane knows us. So the money we are getting in, that 50% of that is going to be spent on marketing, because we want to make sure that all the Swedes and the Norwegian people know our service is available. And then we take about a quarter of the money and use it into keep developing the IT technology of our business. And then the last 25% is going to be used put to our equity on our balance sheet to make us stronger financially.
Mm. Like you mentioned, you have business in Sweden and Norway as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And in Norway, you cut the free time to 3 hours. Is this something you're considering doing in more countries? You got the revenue up when you did that.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. When we started up in Norway, IKEA already had trailers at place so that people could use. And they had communicated that as a 3-hour service. And we didn't start up with all IKEA in Norway, so it was a hard time to come with our concept, which is from today until tomorrow. So we basically adapted what they already had and what the Norwegian people were used to. Of course, we're looking into if that can be something we can use in our other markets as well. So that should be the answer on that one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Your trailers in Sweden and Norway, they are not rented out as much as in Denmark. Is that a potential, or is this like a structural problem with these other markets?
Oh, it's definitely something. What I just said before about the marketing. I mean, if we don't market the service as much as we should do, then it's natural that then the rental is not gonna go as fast as we want to. Mm-hmm. But I can say that we started up with a small marketing stuff here just within the last 2 months, and that has given us a raise of 20% of the current rental on the trailers we have today.
Okay.
So we can see that there's a potential it's going the right way.
Yeah. One big trend in retail right now is the e-commerce trend.
Yeah.
And one could imagine that if fewer people are buying things from stores and driving home, they may not need trailers. Do you see that as a threat of some kind?
Of course, we are always very focused on what's happening in the IT and especially in retail and e-commerce. But I mean, right now, a lot of e-commerce are looking into saying, well, if people buy online instead of going to the shop, maybe we should implement our service. So when you buy something, it's already packed in the trailer, because it's always going to be people who don't want to pay for home transportation and therefore are going to use our service. But you could also see that if the future is changing, why shouldn't it be us that actually start doing this home transportation solution? So everything could happen in the future.
If we look at the markets, you are already the biggest one in Denmark in terms of number of trailers that you rent out.
Yeah.
And you want to increase the number substantially, and also in Norway and Sweden.
Yeah.
Will this increase in number of trailers available for rent, is that going to perhaps drive down the price per rent?
I mean, let me put it another way. Just in Sweden, to give you an example, there's, I think if I remember the numbers correctly, there's 881,446 registered trailers in Sweden. That's a lot. But the biggest problem with that is that they only use an average 3.9 times a year. So I think if we add, let's say, a couple of more thousand trailers into the Swedish markets, I don't think that's going to be a game changer. So I think we can still keep that growth potential we're looking for.
Okay. If we look at the competition then, which different sources of competition do you see?
I mean, when you are first mover in a market, there's always other companies who are looking at the service you have. And we can see that people are trying to say, well, you can have a trailer for free in our shop also. But we don't see that as a real competition, because it's about stickiness. It's about creating a lot of volume towards our website, because it's not enough just to place them on the street and then cross your fingers and hope it's going to be rented out. It's the traffic we drive, and the way we do it is with all the traffic we get into our webpage. So I don't see that as a head-on competition. But then again, there's also some market players who basically try to say, well, we can give you a booking system, we can give you a trailer, and then we hope that everything is going well. But we can see when we look into those who's actually turned down that road, that the trailers is basically standing still a lot of the time. And we are in talk with them basically to go into our system, because they love the idea about the service. So, yeah.
Is there anyone who tries to do the exact same thing as you?
We haven't seen anyone who's doing exact the same thing, but we can see there's coming a lot of portals coming up where they offer that people can take their own trailer and put it up and rent that out. But then you have to be aware that it's not a free service. I assume that if it was your privately trailer, you wouldn't rent it out for free, unless it was to your brother-in-law or someone you know very closely. So we don't see that right now.
Okay. How do you think that the landscape is going to change going forward? How long is this business model going to be sustainable, or is it always going to be changes? Or
I mean, I said before, how are we going to use the funds? I mean, one of the things that we did was in 2015, we basically made a pit stop. We decided that if we want to keep our growth, which is going very rapidly with 7 gazelles in a row, the only 3 companies done that in Denmark, we needed to be sure that the engine was in place and we could actually grow for the next 10 years. So we spent 2 years of developing a very solid IT platform. And on top of that one, we had created an app and a lock solution, which give people more control. And we can use that to go into the future, because that can bring us into other kind of businesses as well.
You have this new test that's going to start soon with IKEA in Sweden on this new system. How do you think that's going to play out?
I mean, to be honest, both us and IKEA are very much looking forward to it. I don't think there's a difference between if you're a Swede or a Dane using an electronic lock. But if we have the same success as we have in Denmark, where we can see there's a huge uptake of our service. Basically, it's the way it happens before, that the service is that you can rent it from today into tomorrow. That means max 1 rental a day. By adding the app, we can see in IKEA that changed the number from 1 rental a day to 1.4 rental a day. And we think that's going to happen in Sweden as well.
After 3 to 5 years, you're looking to sell the trailers when they've been used for such a long time. How much money do you make off that?
I mean, let me put it this way, that it all depends on what kind of shape and structure the trailer is in. So it varies. So I can't give you an exact number. But of course, we get some money on that income too, from that sale too. But what we're also looking into, because you have to be aware that we are in the sharing economy. So instead of just keep on buying, we think it's a great thing that you can actually take the trailer and use it in other purposes as well. And what we have done together with a very famous festival in Denmark, Roskilde Festival, we have created you might call a festival trailer, basically a huge trailer, a used trailer, and we have placed a safety box inside. We have a IKEA bed so you can sleep in it, the windows and a tent outside. So you can basically go to the festival and sleep in a trailer. So it's okay for that purpose, but you shouldn't be driving on the street. So that's how we're looking into using it in other areas as well.
Yeah. How many trailers even make it to 3 to 5 years? How many get stolen on the way, or what happens?
I mean, fortunately in Denmark, we get about only 12 to 15 trailers is got stolen every year. But luckily for us, people tend to call us saying, hey, we can see there's a trailer parked on the street. It's been standing there for 14 days. We might think it's yours, come and pick it up. So it varies. So maybe 3 to 4 trailers a year is getting really stolen and disappears.
You have a number of financial goals about how fast you want to grow in your revenue and so on.
Yeah.
What are your major challenges, you think, in realizing these goals?
I mean, to give you an idea about how, right now we have a turnover of 30 million Danish kroner. And that on the current business model we have, which is the trailers and the money we get from every rental. But we can see by adding the electronic lock, that is going to be a game changer. So we think just on the current model, we could easily grow by 40% the next 3 to 5 years.
When you're looking at new markets, what are the factors that you're looking at if it's an appropriate market to expand to?
There's a lot of different factors we look into. One of the very important things is that the readiness in the market is like, can they easily adapt to electronic payments? That means with credit cards or other kind of services. Are you using an app? Do they know how to use smartphones? That's important if we're going to take that technology into consideration. And then secondly, of course, the cars needs to have a hook. Otherwise, it's a no-go. But let me phrase it this way. When we started in Denmark, there were only 11.2% of the cars had hooks. And we managed to actually drive a business on that one. And today it's 48%. So it's a huge growth into that. And I just read a report from a professor, and he said, the reason why people are getting more hooks on their car is because of the service that is supplied, but you can always have a free trailer. So in that case, we are basically developing the market also. So a minimum of 10-15% of trailers on cars, that is a market for us.
You have mentioned Germany as a country you may wish to expand in. They are not very, they like cash, basically, the Germans.
They love cash.
How do you deal with that?
I mean, to be honest, it's like you have in Sweden when a lot of people tend to love to, instead of paying when they go online, instead of paying with a credit card, they use invoice payments, and it's similar in Germany. But you also German people tend to actually adapt PayPal as a solution. It's very common in Germany also, and we can put that into our solution, so it shouldn't be a challenge on that point.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you very much, then, Allan, for being with us here today.
You're welcome. Thank you.